In a world without vacuum cleaners. Hey guys, this is In a World podcast,
Yes,
and we're back.
we are. And I'm sure you guys are thrilled.
I mean, like, you probably loved the first one,
Oh, yes.
and you were like, hey, I want to listen to them again.
Because we were very entertaining the first time.
Totally. Today, if you missed that entry, we're talking about a world without vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
Something you probably don't think about a lot. I vacuum my house every once in a while, every week or so. So, what would it be like
Dang,
in
that's a pretty
our
dirty house.
in our world, like with the same technologies and stuff that we have? What would it be like without a vacuum cleaner? So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go back and forth, seeing what
Yes.
our ideas are. And this week we're gonna start with Robbie.
Oh, yes.
So what are your views?
In a world without vacuum cleaners, it would suck. Well, actually, it wouldn't suck.
Get it? Suck. Vacuum cleaners.
I feel as if in a world without vacuum cleaners, we would have something very similar to one. Either that or we would go full on wood flooring everywhere.
And our dogs would just lick the floor.
What?
They just walk around with their tongues on the floor. Because wood floors get dirty too.
Yeah, but you can sweep that. You don't have to vacuum it. You can just take a broom.
Just say, what about a house with carpet?
Okay, a house with carpet wouldn't happen.
You're saying they just rip out the carpet and put in wood?
Yes, that's exactly what would happen.
So you're saying, wow, this is boring. Just like,
It's gonna be a really short podcast.
okay. They all use wood floors and they just sweep everything.
I mean that's pretty much what I think would happen. I mean, there wouldn't be too much that would change.
There wouldn't be any overthrowing of the government.
Governments wouldn't be toppled over this. I mean, I feel like this would be
I feel light bulbs would be is a bigger issue than vacuum cleaners.
This isn't about light bulbs. This is about vacuum
Yeah, I know.
cleaners.
I'm saying, if you haven't listened to our first podcast, it was about In a World Without Light Bulbs, and that ended really funny with like humans becoming bioluminescent beings and a bear overthrowing the world government. And
Oh yes,
it was funny. You need to tune into that one if you haven't already.
yes, but I think without vacuum cleaner technology at all, like with no knowledge of how to move air,
Yeah, like the sucking process of air, the absence.
then it would be world without fans, and that would mean no air conditioning.
We wouldn't have any like NASA probably wouldn't exist. Space travel wouldn't, because most of space travel stuff requires sucking air out of stuff.
Oh yes, most of space travel. I mean, you can't have those dust mites on the ship. You gotta just turn it on.
Well, no, like a vacuum, like when vacuum chambers that suck air out of things.
Yeah, I could see that, but this is about vacuum cleaners.
No, you didn't. In a world without vacuums, any kind of vacuum.
No, that's true. And now we're talking without like vacuums in space either.
No, they just don't know. They don't.
No
know
man-made vacuum.
They don't know that space is a vacuum.
Yes. No man-made wind-powered. Well, not wind-powered, but
The sucking capabilities.
Why'd you pinch my cheek?
Because it's sucking on your cheek. It's the vacuum cleaner, and it's like grabbing your face and pulling it in.
Right. But I could see, yeah, there probably wouldn't be space travel at all without vacuums.
And you said you don't think there'd be any air conditioning or anything?
Well, they basically just use the same technology in reverse to blow temperature or cool their
So you're
heated
saying
air.
if we had air conditioning, we'd know about vacuums. So in a world without vacuums, we couldn't have air conditioning, because then we'd know about vacuums?
Yes. You said that very weirdly, but yes. That's exactly
That's
what
how
I'm
it makes
saying.
sense in my head.
That's
Okay.
exactly what I'm saying.
Me, in a world without vacuums, I feel like I would have to agree. I don't think they would have carpeted floors, But if they did, they would have
If they did.
some sort of creature.
A creature.
Like a living creature going around and like picking stuff up off the ground. I'm envisioning like a squirrel,
A squirrel.
like just dashing across the floor,
Yes.
picking stuff and like food and stuff that's fallen onto the floor.
Oh, Jimmy, do pick up the nuts you left on the carpet. All of the squirrels will be named Jimmy.
And
All
all the female squirrels will be named Jimmyette.
yes.
If you missed our first podcast, that was kind of a.
I feel like this entire podcast is just going to be a plug for our other podcasts.
He's like, in a world with no vacuum cleaners and Smokey the Bear overthrowing the government.
No, see, without vacuum cleaners, the smoke busters wouldn't have existed.
Yeah, the smoke busters.
Smokey would still be ruling.
Smokey would still be ruling the world if it wasn't for vacuum cleaners. So in a world without vacuum cleaners, Smokey the Bear is ruling the world. It just leads right back.
It's full circle. It comes full circle. The smoke busters would be powerless. And so would the Ghostbusters.
This is true.
They would just, I mean, technically there's shoot photons, but I mean, they still look like vacuum cleaners.
They're really just fancy vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
That they bought at Vacuums R Us.
No, and see, if you wanted to get a vacuum cleaner, and you would just take a leaf blower and you.
But no,
You'd
they wouldn't have leaf blowers because they wouldn't have fans. Because if they had fans, then they know about vacuums. We already established this. Nothing with fans, so we'd all burn to death.
Well, fans weren't invented until like.
Yeah, I know, but we'd all be really hot.
early
We'd be really
1800s or
hot.
something like
Burn
that.
to death was an exaggeration. We'd all just be really hot in summertime.
And in the winter, we'd be really cold. Because we blow hot air through the air vents. That's how we heat stuff.
Yeah, and you just breathe on each other.
Just breathe on each other.
Yeah, hot air.
It's like, here, Jimmy, come over here.
You want to get warmed up?
I just want to get warmed up. Just breathe on me. Breathe on my face. What did you eat? Garlic? Yeah, I ate this garlic stew. You take the garlic. How did you warm it up? Oh, you see, it was really simple. I took the fire and I blew it up. Smokey didn't take away your fire.
Okay, just to establish in a world without
Oh,
vacuum
my
cleaners it would not be a world without light bulbs. In a world with vacuum cleaners, they'd still have light bulbs. So Smokey the Bear would never go into power in the first place.
Well, I don't know. Those vacuum cleaners with the light bulb headlights.
No, because you see, there wouldn't be.
There's just little flamethrowers that come out of the front of the vacuum, so you can see.
It's like you torch.
Whoa, Jimmy! Don't get the flames so close.
No, to get rid of the carpet floors, what they did is they took those vacuum cleaners with the flamethrowers in the front. They torch it, and as they're going, it sucks up the ashes of the floor.
But wait, there wouldn't be vacuum cleaners.
No, this is for the Smokish the Bear world. This is for the we need to stop going back to that world.
Yes.
Wait, that world is done. It's gone. Just imagine, Smokey the Bear doesn't exist anymore.
Well, you could still go on YouTube and look up the Smokey the Bear ad.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're still back at wildfires.
Let's get back to vacuums.
So we wouldn't have really high skyscrapers with like pressurized stuff.
That's true.
There wouldn't be the higher elevation buildings wouldn't exist because no one would go up there and be able to survive without a pressurized.
So technically speaking, nobody would have climbed to the top of some of the mountains that we have either.
Yes, like Mount Everest, someone probably wouldn't have gone up there.
So what basically we were saying, in a world without vacuums, exploration would be a lot less. We couldn't go on top of mountains. We wouldn't have space travel.
Who knew that your dirt devil was so important?
Some of the names of vacuum cleaners, man.
We got Dirt Devil.
Dirt devils wouldn't exist.
We got Hoovers.
The Hoovers. We got those sharks.
Oh yeah, sharks.
I wouldn't want those sharks going around. In a world without vacuum cleaners, if you walk up to someone and say, Like if you were in this world and you head to the world without vacuum cleaners and you say, "Hey, where's your shark?" and it's like, "Why would we have sharks in the house?"
We just got Jimmy. That's all we have.
Jimmy the squirrel. He runs all over our floor. Picking
Just in the
stuff
middle
up.
of the night here.
Just little footsteps. But it doesn't work on the night before Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because none of those creatures are stirring.
Not even a mouse or a squirrel.
Although, would we have fireplaces if we didn't have vacuums? Because how would you clean it? Would you just sweep it out onto the
That's
wooden
what
floor?
they what they used to do.
Yeah, that's true.
They used to just like sweep all the stuff out into a little tray and take it outside and dump it.
Then the atmosphere becomes slowly polluted with smoke and
So
ash.
so we get back to the same issue that we had in the last one, the world being polluted.
Well, I mean, technically the same thing's just happening. It's just you're indirectly doing it with the vacuum. You're just putting it in the trash, and then that gets dumped.
Yeah. But the trash is totally safe.
Totally.
Totally. It's like all that stuff just, goes away. It doesn't get set anywhere. It doesn't take up space or anything.
Well,
There's just a matter.
Jimmy
See-
just eats it.
See what the government the government hasn't told you is they've invented like things that can summon voids.
Summon a black hole.
So we just throw stuff into the black holes.
Oh yeah. I just hope Jimmy doesn't get stuck in the.
Oof. I mean, like, man. Oof, if Jimmy got stuck. I mean, I would want a pet squirrel named Jimmy that runs around the house picking stuff off the floor.
At night?
Not at night. He only works day shifts.
Oh, 9 to 5. He works.
Yeah,
9 to 5. In case you guys are wondering, I'm so tired. I just got done working 9 to 5, so,
He's
That's how it's fun.
tired.
Oh no!
In a world without vacuum cleaners, Robbie wouldn't have his job.
I need Jimmy to give me a deep tissue shiatsu or something.
Shiatsu.
Dang,
Man,
this
if Jimmy-
no vacuum world is sounding pretty nice. I mean,
Except for the fact that
no exploration.
We wouldn't
pretty
have-
much.
no explanation, no exploration, and no air conditioning.
That doesn't sound too bad. I mean, if you get Jimmy.
I mean, I wouldn't want to live in Florida.
Pros and cons. You get Jimmy.
Nobody would live in Florida.
You don't
though.
get Dirt Devil. You just get Jimmy.
Replace your Dirt Devils with Jimmy today. Call 1-800-77-JIMMY.
That's JIMMY.
Jimmy.
Or you can go to our website
www.jimmy.com/.org/.edu/.net.
We should make a promotional ad for it. That's what should happen. Are you sick and tired of having your Dirt Devil break down every day?
Do you want to get rid of the hassle of holding vacuum cleaners in your house, having to do up the cord and store it in your closet?
Do you often find uneaten acorns laying on your floor?
If so, go to the website www.jimmy.com
To pick up your free Jimmy. Well, free with the price of $20.99 shipping.
No, 25 easy payments of $29.99
Yes.
every 99 days.
Every 99. Yes.
So,
Buy your Jimmy now.
It's a great price.
We are not responsible if he runs away in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you better keep your doors locked.
What happened to your accent again?
I don't know, my
It's
accent.
happening again. In all of these alternate universes, the accents just change.
Yeah, everyone's accent just constantly changes in any other world but this world.
Yes. And even in this world sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Hey, well, my history teacher, she used to live in England, and she said that when she lived in England, she had a British accent, but now that she's moved back to the South, she has a very Southern accent.
Move back to the south.
She moved back to the South. We live in the South, but we ain't got no Southern accent.
On the Oregon Trail.
On the Oregon Trail. The Oregon Trail is in the west.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't it go east?
Northish
Oh,
west.
wait, no, it doesn't go east. What am I
Northish
saying?
west.
We're those East Coasters.
You know, Oregon, Robbie, it's
Those
that
east-
way.
those East Coasters. They always hold my drinks and keep them nice and cool.
Oh, coasters.
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
I didn't catch that at first.
Yeah, Micah's really sharp today. And in
Yeah.
case you didn't know, he is Micah. I am Robbie. We always forget to introduce ourselves.
We don't need an introduction.
We don't need.
They already know who we are.
We're so famous on the internet. We don't even need.
Yeah,
an
we got
introduction.
we got. You check out our YouTube channels:
Oh my.
Christian Cuber, Siblings Thrice, and Battlefront with Bros. Battlefront with Bros is our gaming channel. Siblings Thrice is a comedy channel, and Christian Cuber is a speed cubing channel. If you don't know what speed cubing is, you really got to check that out.
Yes.
Speed cubing's fun. It's Rubik's Cube stuff, but solving it speedily.
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 Yeah, and that's another thing. You wouldn't be able to speed solve.
Why?
The vacuum of space would destroy the world.
No, there wouldn't be any vacuum of space.
Oh, that's right. Then why couldn't
Our planets would just be constantly falling.
falling? No, gravity.
Yeah, but isn't the vacuum of space plus gravity what's holding all the planets in?
No, the vacuum of space is caused by gravity.
So you're saying we wouldn't have gravity in a
Yes.
world without vacuums?
Well, we wouldn't have the vacuum effect of gravity, I guess. But yeah, I guess
But then we wouldn't have...
we wouldn't have gravity. Yes.
We wouldn't have gravity. In a world without vacuums, we wouldn't have gravity. So you're saying gravity, period? Because when people think like zero gravity, a lot of people don't realize that you're still being held in place.
That's low gravity.
That's low gravity because you're still being held in place. Otherwise, you wouldn't be floating around like that.
Zero gravity is just nothing.
Yeah.
You're just there.
That's it. You're not floating, or you can't swim around in
Yeah, you have no
zero
traction,
gravity.
man.
You're just there.
I mean, unless there's air, because in space there's no air, so you can't just propel yourself. With on the Earth, well, then again, without gravity, the atmosphere
wouldn't-
would
there wouldn't-
deplete, and there wouldn't be air.
So basically, in a world without a vacuum, we'd die.
Who knew your dirt devil was so important?
Without your dirt devil, the atmosphere will collapse and we'll all die.
Except for Jimmy. He was prepared.
Jimmy was prepared.
all of those hairs he picked up off your carpeted floor.
He was stringing them together.
He weaved them into an airtight spacesuit.
But in order to make it airtight, you'd have to vacuum.
Hush. This isn't about reality. This is about Jimmy.
But Jimmy, so you're saying Jimmy warps reality?
Jimmy has warped reality through his dirt devil. He has a time traveling dirt devil that he rides around on.
Oh yes, Jimmy. You see, Jimmy was originally from this Earth, and then he went through the multiverse to find this alternate universe without vacuums. But
Yes.
he rode there in his time traveling dirt devil, his multiverse teleporting time traveling dirt devil.
Wow, this is a very talented dirt devil. If you want one, you can pick one up at
www.dirtdeviltime-traveling/multi-universe teleportation.com.
or just call 188 dirt devil.
.com.
.com. What? No, but anyway, that is there any other points we could make? Would suction be a thing?
Well, that depends. If you're thinking, it depends how vacuumy we want to get things. Cause
Well,
technically-
suction has nothing to do with it has to do with air pressure.
Air-
So it has nothing to do with
Well,
vacuums.
technically, when you're using a suction, it's vacuumally sucking air out of thing. Like
But-
what you're doing is it
Well,
takes
not
up-
necessarily, because suction.
I mean, it pressurizes the air.
Yeah.
But it also pushes some out.
Suction can be caused by pressure. So suction, in that sense, if it's caused by pressure, would exist. But if you're trying to cause it by sucking the air out of it, it wouldn't work.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have any of those little vacuum sealed little containers.
You
But
can
those bags
suction
that
cup
you-
something to
No, those little bags that you like put the vacuum on and suck it all up, but it condenses the stuff inside.
That doesn't matter. You wouldn't have a vacuum.
Okay, good point.
Your dirt devil can't do it all, man.
I've never actually seen a dirt devil.
You haven't?
No, not
Dude,
like
they're so nice.
not outside of the box.
Oh.
I've seen the boxes and
They're
like
so
the pictures, but
Those are the high end.
no, the high end vacuums are those cordless vacuums, the ones that have those little like magnetic little charger things that you set them up against on the wall. So
Like
there's
the little
no power.
handheld ones.
No,
That's
they
what
made,
Jimmy lives in.
no, they made big ones. Remember?
Oh.
Have you not
yeah,
seen
that's
those?
right,
They
that's
started making big ones because
Yeah.
they originally just had the little tiny handheld ones.
If you guys have ever seen one of those little handheld vacuum cleaners with the little, it looks like a little nozzle with just a tiny little motor on the end.
Yeah, it looks like a raindrop almost.
Well, it depends on what kind, but that's what Jimmy rides.
Jimmy
He puts
rides
it in
around on
reverse
that.
and just.
But I thought he rode his time traveling dirt devil.
No, that when he's driving around the planet,
Oh,
he
right.
he just rides
So,
on his
yeah.
handheld.
So the next next big invention. I mean, this can't happen in a world without vacuums. But the next big invention on this Earth needs to be a bigger version of the handheld vacuum that we can reverse and then fly around on.
Oh yes, it's just as good as the fire pack, the fire jetpack.
No, it was a hot air balloon jetpack.
Well, yeah, but it's powered by fire.
If you don't know what we're talking about with the hot air balloon jetpack, you should check out our
I love
first podcast.
You need to calm down.
I just gotta rep the first podcast.
You need to calm down.
Vacuums. I'm thinking there's got to be something else vacuums are used. The original TVs wouldn't exist because they used vacuum tubes to work.
Oh yeah,
Like old computers. And
TVs
TVs
probably wouldn't exist.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have started. Well, they might have. They might have not had that. Like I said, the old TVs. Wouldn't exist.
What I'm thinking, they wouldn't have been released when they were that old. But once technology had advanced past that,
Yeah,
then
we'd have
released
like
them.
that flat screen TV.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't use the vacuum tube.
So those
thingies.
old timey TVs wouldn't exist. We would just skip straight to plasma. That doesn't sound too bad.
Straight to plasma. That I mean, and straight. We wouldn't even have black and white TVs. We'd just skip straight to color.
Well, I don't know about that. Color doesn't have anything to do with vacuums.
Yeah, but
I was thinking more when you said TVs. I was thinking we wouldn't have a way to cool electronics and stuff. They would overheat a lot easier.
Because if we didn't have a fan, we wouldn't have a lot of technology that we have today. Because if you think any computer has a fan in it, basically all technology
that's a vacuum.
Have fans in them, which is technically a vacuum. So in a world without vacuums, we wouldn't have a lot of, or at least we'd have to figure out a different way to cool down. Maybe like there's an insertable ice pack. Put an ice pack into your.
Looks like my computer ice pack has melted. Jimmy, would you get me a new one?
It's like another disk drive kind of thing on a computer.
So there's the disk drive, and then there's
the ice pack drive. Yeah, you put the ice pack in there, it cools down the computer.
Well, would CDs work? Because you have to laser them on.
But what does that have to do with vacuums? Lasers don't have any.
You have to have a fan to cool it as it's being lasered.
Yeah, I guess.
There wouldn't be CDs.
I didn't realize vacuums were so important in technology until I thought about it.
Well, the Dirt Devil itself is not that important. To
The Dirt
technology,
Devil is-
but the concept of a vacuum is very important.
We're gonna label this in a world without vacuums, not vacuum cleaners, because we're not talking about vacuum cleaners.
Oh no, it's not gonna be called
'Cause
that.
in
It's
a
gonna
world-
be called Jimmy's Time Traveling Dirt Devil.
Yes, that's gonna be the title for this one. You probably know that because you've already clicked on it. Jimmy's Time Traveling Dirt Devil.
That's the origin of the title.
If you don't know the title of our other one, it's called All
Oh.
Hail King Smokey. All Hail King Smokey.
Yeah.
I just dropped something.
Jeez, Micah, you're supposed to be professional.
We are very professional. We're the professional noobs.
Professional noobs.
Yep.
Does that mean we're professional at being noobs?
I feel like I feel like I've heard it. I think one of our friends told me about this YouTube channel that he watches, where they call themselves professional noobs, and they go out and trying a bunch of stuff and calling themselves professional noobs.
Shout out to you, professional noobs. We've never seen a single one of your videos. I'm sorry.
I don't think their channel's called professional noobs.
Oh.
They would be funny.
It's just a term they use.
Yeah, I feel like he said they can call themselves professional noobs.
Ah.
Because they just go around trying a bunch of new stuff.
So,
Failing at it.
I think we've run out of ideas.
Speaker technology doesn't have anything to do with vacuums, does it?
No, it does
Because it
not.
kind of looks like a vacuum. Look at that.
In case you don't notice, Micah is gesturing at a rather sketchy-looking
It's
speaker.
an old speaker.
That's a subwoofer.
A Panasonic.
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 No.
Panasonic.
This is not a sponsored video. Or wait, video.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
I'm too used to YouTube. I said not a sponsored video.
He does too much YouTube. We're doing podcasts now.
Yeah. Well,
Just a side note here. I think podcasts are cooler than YouTube. Like not necessarily to watch or listen to,
less people
But to-
know about them.
but to record.
Less people know
I
about
think
them.
I'm having more fun recording podcasts than I am filming. I feel like a camera is way more intimidating than just a microphone sitting in front of you.
Yes.
This microphone is not very. I mean, look at it. It's not very intimidating.
This
But that camera-
This looks like just a regular mainstream microphone.
That camera, it looks into your soul.
It's like,
That lens, you look at
hey
it,
there,
and it's
Jimmy. What are you gonna say, Jimmy? Okay, it's not like that. No. In case you guys want to check out Jimmy's YouTube channel. No. But I think we're fresh out of stuff.
Yeah, in a world without vacuums. Just to sum it up,
It's
it
not-
would be different. It would be a whole lot different. It would be.
There would be no gravity.
Oh, right, I forgot the world
We would
would
all die.
collapse. We'd
There-
die.
Yeah, I find that in these alternate universes they quickly die.
Yeah, we noticed that everything that's in the world is definitely there for a good purpose.
Yeah, it serves its purpose.
Because we go off on these rabbit holes, as I like calling them,
Yes.
and most
Most
of the time
we die.
we die. Yeah.
Yeah.
In these rabbit holes, we die.
That's what happens most of the time.
Most of the time. I bet you there's going to be one episode eventually where the Earth doesn't collapse. But I feel like because we're doing such useful,
Such extremes.
such extreme stuff, and we're going into the stuff that's such if there wasn't vacuums, we wouldn't vacuum cleaners, we wouldn't all die. But if the vacuums themselves,
Well, you don't know that. There could be some sort of some sort of
vacuum-
dust.
the idea of
Invasion.
vacuum, the dust apocalypse,
The dust apocalypse.
the dust apocalypse is coming. I warned you all.
That's what Jimmy says.
I warned you.
But then again, he would just teleport away on his dirt devil.
He was like, you told everyone said I was crazy. Well, who's the crazy one now?
The one who still says crazy.
Yeah. So interesting thoughts that went out in this episode.
Yes.
We're a little bit shorter this time, but
Only a
like
little
I
bit.
said, we're just trying to keep it around 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily exactly on 30. We can go over, we can go under. This time we're going a little under. Last time we went a little over.
Yeah.
It doesn't really.
Wait, you sound like you're reading a children's book. Last time we went a little over. This time we're going a little under.
So yeah, check us out on social media. Actually, all of our different channels and stuff are on social media. You can find Siblings Thrice. You can find Christian Cuber. You can find In a World, all on Twitter.
If you guys want to listen to more of this podcast, you can find it on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/inaworld.
It's www.soundcloud.com/inaworld.
Well, that's implied.
You said at SoundCloud.
Okay, and
Like it,
and you can also find this podcast on the Siblings Thrice YouTube channel.
yeah, we're putting it on there.
Yeah.
If you're watching it through there, you probably already know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, get a SoundCloud profile and follow us on there because we want followers.
Although we have realized that without getting premium SoundCloud, we won't be able to keep all the episodes on there.
Yeah, so we're gonna be shuffling through them. So if you want all of them at all times,
You need to go to YouTube.
but if you find YouTube a little bit more difficult to get to, you'll find the most recent ones on SoundCloud.
So thanks for listening, guys.
And I suppose goodbye.
Bye.